Hey there, everybody. So, we're gonna do something new today. Let me know if the volumes and stuff are not good. Seems to work. So I've been playing some Flight Simulator lately, and I thought, why not try this new DC6 that got released by PMDG like 2 months ago. So I learned how to fly it a bit. And so then I've been digging on the internet to find out what kind of flights it did back in the 50s. So I found this website, and they have these old, how do you call it, timetables. So this from 1954, KLM timetable, which apparently is in German and English. There must be a Dutch version as well somewhere, but couldn't find it. And it's quite complicated how this works, but this is basically how passengers back in the day would book a flight or find out which flight they needed. It's quite amazing how many flights they already did. If you look at the network of KLM back in the 50s. But they flew all the way to Sydney on the other side of the world, which would be like 6 or 7 landings to get there. And also to the States. So I thought, why not recreate some of these flights, you know, that they did, see how it was. And if you look at this network, like they flew from Amsterdam to, I think, Shannon, then Gander, New York. Then you could go all the way here to the south, to the Caribbean islands. And then they have the DC3 flying here, hopping between all the islands. So this is basically what the timetables look like. And this is what passengers got, you know. This is like, I want to go to New York, and this is the booklet you got. Then you could pick out a flight. And it took me some time to actually figure out how this works, but I can explain it a bit now. What all the numbers work and stuff. Like this is a flight to New York. And this is the flight number, KL601. And then the 1 says the day of the week. So this is Monday, this is 2, this is Tuesday, 3 is Wednesday. So if I wanted to go to New York on a Monday, I would have to use this flight KL601. And you can see this is probably first class and whatever. I don't know what this means. That's all over here at the beginning of the book. D is tourist class, F is first class. So basically, and this is the aircraft type, which you can see here on the bottom. Douglas Super 6, Lockheed Constellations, Lockheed Super Constellation. So this flight 631 is Lockheed Super Constellation. And it would leave from Amsterdam at 21:45. Then fly to Glasgow. It would land there at 23:50. Then it goes to day 2. It starts on Monday. Then, because it's so late, it goes on to Tuesday. So day 2, it departs at 00:50 in the morning. And then it flies all the way to Gander, which is like 6-7 hours. Oh no, it must be much longer with the time difference, because these are local times. They would arrive, that's why the A means, I couldn't find it out first, but A is arrival, D is departure, so it arrives at 6:30 in the morning in Gander, and then departs at 7:30 in the morning at Gander, and then flies to New York. And that's basically a flight of this aircraft back in the days. It's not like you fly from Amsterdam straight to New York, because it has to do fuel stops and probably fill up the oil and stuff. So what we're gonna do, because these, you can see, these is Super Constellation and Super 6. It's not the DC6 which we have on Flight Simulator. So we're gonna do table 6, here it is. We're gonna do this one, which says on the bottom the Douglas DC6, which is actually the flights that they did in this aircraft. And we're gonna do DC6 is like this square thing with their black cross in the middle. So this is a DC6 flight, KL853, KL855, 851. And the rest is all Constellations. They did a bit further flights. So we're gonna have a look at the I wrote it down, 851 I think, yeah, KL851, which goes all the way from Amsterdam. Wait, you cannot see this. It goes all the way from Amsterdam all the way to 851, and it stops here at Karachi, Pakistan. If you want to fly further all the way to Jakarta, you have to hop on to KL841, but that's a Super Constellation, so, or what is it? Lockheed Constellation. So we're not gonna do that flight. So we're basically gonna do this whole KL851 flight, starting at Amsterdam at 10:30. Then we fly to Munich. We land there at 12:30, so that's a 2-hour flight, which is the flight we're gonna do today. Then an hour later it departs and it flies to Rome. And 1.5 hours later it flies from Rome to Cairo, Karachi. So that's basically the flights that this aircraft does. Or am I saying this right? No, it's this one. 10:30, Munich, Rome to Cairo, Basra, Dhahran, and Dhahran, Karachi. And that's where this flight ends. And then there's also a flight back, which is KL852, which basically starts at Karachi again. Karachi, Dhahran, Bas, then it goes to Baghdad. And Baghdad to Cairo, Rome, Munich, back to Amsterdam. So I thought it would be a cool thing to actually recreate these flights. Hey man. Well, I cannot see the prices. That's too bad. I think. No prices here. Maybe I can find it out as well. See if we can find how much it would cost. Karachi. Okay, thanks, man. Where was I? Oh yeah, so I made a map here to see all the flights. So first leg is what we're gonna do today: Amsterdam, Munich, Rome, Cairo, Kuwait. What's this? Basra to Bahrain here, and Bahrain to Karachi. And Cherokee. Karachi. Karachi. Thanks, man. Alright, let's have a look. Page. This one. So the first leg, KL851, departs at 10:30 in the morning on a day 6, which is a Saturday, and flies to Munich. We should be there at 12:30. So I made a flight here in this program. Let's see, can we see this? Flying from Amsterdam. I'm already in the sim. We're parked somewhere over here. And back in the day, they only had this runway, runway 22, which is the smallest runway now. We don't really use that nowadays. Only when it's really bad weather or something, or when the wind is really extreme. I only landed here once in real life, so not really a place where we land normally. This is for the business jets or smaller aircraft. They still use this runway, and we just use one of the larger runways. What's happening between the 7:30 and the departure? Have a look. What you mean? (851) 7:30. Is that on this day? Oh, you mean here? This one? 7:30. If you want to take the bus from Rotterdam and get on this flight, you have the 7:30 bus from the Van Oldenbarneveldstraat. Oh, here. Maybe you can see it now. There's a bus sign here. Yeah. So if you want to get the bus from Rotterdam, if you live in Rotterdam, you can get the bus at 7:30 and still make it on the flight. Which is 3 hours between. It's actually quite alright. Guess security was a bit easier back in the day. Oh yeah, so I made this flight plan here. So we're using runway 22, which is the old runway. And this is also where the really old Schiphol used to be back in the day, the Amsterdam airport. And we're gonna fly on a, what was it, Listo departure? I don't have the charts that I can show you, but I have it on my iPad here. Low peak departure. Low peak 1 Golf departure. And then we're gonna do well, we didn't have the GPS back in the day, so we're gonna do a VOR to VOR. Fly to Düsseldorf VOR. And also on the departure we're gonna use radials and all that stuff, old school stuff. Then fly to Düsseldorf. Then Charlie VOR, Germany. Then Nürburgring VOR, and then we're gonna fly the whole arrival procedure for the ILS runway 26 right in Munich. But don't turn it. Yeah, it goes off. Yeah, this aircraft's quite nice because there's a flight engineer and co-pilot, so I don't have to do all the procedures. I only have to fly the aircraft. But they switch off the non-smoking sign, so you can smoke something in the during the flight. Could probably also get a beer and a wine or something. I think it was quite normal back in the day. Alright, so let's give this a go. Here we go. It works. It's a miracle. We've got this nice iPad here. So let's say we're still on the ground here. Everything's open. Basically control everything here with with this iPad. Let's set the time to like 10, 13. So we have 15 minutes before departure. Yeah, DCS. DCS is nice though. Really nice simulated. You could like throwing weapons and stuff. But it's just so complicated as well. So here we can also see 10, 13. Let's have a look at the aircraft. Is this map working now? Yeah. Good. Yeah, the A10 is the most difficult one actually. There's so many systems. I've been flying the F-16 a bit lately, and that's much easier than the A10. that's me. That's me there. It's cool, huh? It's pretty windy today in the Netherlands. So what we're gonna do is give it a new engine. All new engines. New props. And then I hope we can make the whole flight with these engines. If I don't fuck it up. There we go. All the oils and stuff are filled. That. Fuel. Let's say we have 60 passengers, or what do you think? Yeah, it's such a nice aircraft, you know. My grandpa flew the Constellations, which I think is even nicer, but we don't have that yet. So 60 passengers and a bit of cargo. We're going all the way to Karachi, so it's hot there, so they don't need that much. There we go. Fuel. I don't know how much we need. Let's say 50%. Way too much. I have to look into the manuals to see, have a look at fuel flows and stuff. But that's maybe for later. Let's get my joystick. The Ava, is that a Constellation or? Alright, so what we can do is do the before start checklist, or get rid of all the these things. Mechanical stands gone, oil pans gone, pitot covers gone. Trucks can go. And the engineer should do all the rest. Passengers are in the aircraft right now. 4-star checklist. And now the engineer goes through all the switches and stuff, which is nice, cause so I don't have to do it. Completed. Now they do a checklist. Yeah, the A2A Connie, yeah, I hope they bring it to Flight Simulator. Or to the new Flight Simulator. I flew the B17 back a long time ago with the A2A B17, which was really nice. No, I didn't get to talk with my grandpa. He died when I was 11. So, 33 years ago, so that's too bad. But that's the way it is. They're closing the door now. Yeah, true. Go, make the co-pilot. Closed. Door warning lights. Out. Gear pins. Removed. 3 on board. Seat belts and pedals. Adjusted. Throttles. Oh, he did have a crash, my grandpa, in Bangkok with a Constellation. I think if you Google it, then you'll find it. So they had a propeller blade broke off during the approach. So the engine got on fire, I think, but they could still land and evacuate all the passengers, and everybody got out. And then he got out of the aircraft and actually made some pictures of the burning aircraft, which is quite cool. 3 turning, 1 burning, yeah. So we did the before start checks. Next up would be starting engines. Radios are on. Could actually do something with the radio setup for departure. I said we're gonna do the low peak departure, so we're gonna need it's at minimum 500 feet, turn left, max 220 knots, intercept radio 163 from Sierra Papa Lima. So we can tune Sierra Papa Lima here. 08.4. Oh. Radio 163. Instant Radio 163, Sierra Papa Lima at 8 DME. Can we see DME as well? Yeah, now it's 2.3, good. And then I switch it. Alright, this is the second radio. Now it's off, good. 8 DME, Sierra Papa Lima, turn left, intercept radial 150 to low pick. Okay. I'm sorry I cannot show you these charts, but it's the low pick 1 Golf departure from Amsterdam, from runway 22. We don't need anything else. We could set up the Düsseldorf VOR as well. 115.7. No, that's Nuremberg. Nuremberg. Düsseldorf. 115.15. Eight four. Right, yeah. Can imagine. Well, I just have this iPad from work, so makes it a bit easier. Right, let's start the engines, right? So mixture. I'm not an expert on this aircraft. Let's start engine 3 first. Mixture, rich, magnetos. This one is an engine 3 and we have fuel booster pumps on. So we should have fuel flow, fuel pressure here on the engine 3. Let's go battery, because the ground power is a bit weak always. Alright, let's start the engine. Now it's cranking the engine and at 12 rotations or 12 propeller blades passes, I should start it.
12.
Go check the RPMs. Keep it below 1,000. See if we have oil pressure here. Yeah. Looks good. Preflight or STH? What's that? Cool. Looks like this engine got started. Started the number 4 engine. Have a look outside as well. The mixture is rich. Both's kind of late. Oh right. Well, I just do what the video says. So just rather keep on doing that. Probably do that 6 already. But have to use some kind of procedure, right?
3, 6, 9, 12.
You also don't know if like real world airlines have different starters and different engines and oil pressure, RPMs, good. 12 is probably like a full rotation. Like 4 rotations of the prop. I don't know. I don't know why it's 12. Start the one engine, I guess. Yeah, I didn't even look at the manual, to be honest.
5,
So if we get an emergency something, then we're gonna have a problem. Because I have no clue what to do. RPMs, pressure. Looks good. And let's start the last engine. Bit laggy here on the ground. 2, engine 2, fuel booster pump.
3,
Push the feather button, yeah. That's
6,
oh, this one.
9, 12,
RPMs. And oil pressure. So now we have to wait for the oil temps to rise. Be above 40. Now we can do the after start checklist.
start selected boost pumps. Battery switch. Plane venting. Generators and inverters. Checked and on. Emergency lights. Armed.
Yeah, same.
Ground power.
I guess it's here, but... Oh yeah, this is probably the
Off to start.
engine fire extinguisher. But I don't know how it works. Maybe we can learn as we go along. We have some longer flights as well. But for now, let's just get there. Actually get airborne first. So we did the after start checklist. The aircraft is ready, it's just waiting for the engine to heat up a bit. Engine 3 and 4 are ready, waiting for engine 1 and 2 to be above 40. Then we can reverse using reverse thrust. Gonna go to runway 22, which is all the way back there. I've set altimeter, radials, so engine 1 is ready, just waiting for engine number 2. Reverse was this handle, yeah. So much vibration on reverse. Yeah, it's like the 1200 RPM is where you shouldn't be, right? Here we go, 40. Let's try it. Apparently I have to go really slow. Oh, park and brake. Stupid mistake. Hello? Not working. Did I miss something? Alright. If reverse doesn't work, then we go forward, I guess. Let me know if you know why the reverse didn't work. To turn to the right. Keep it just below 1000 RPM. Why is my view so low? There we go. I think the flight engineer took off the GPU. Yeah, because it went... I put it on battery myself, so... Before the engine starts, because for me, when I do engine start on the GPU, then it doesn't start for some reason. Yeah, I got help. I'm a lazy pilot. Is there another entry to the runway there? Yes, there should be. Golf 1. This is Golf 3. Yeah, so you have to check this, right? It's performance. We are at 102,000 pounds, 103. And dry takeoff is up to 103,800. So we do a dry takeoff. Yeah, I use CRM. I think we can do the before takeoff checklist, set the flaps and stuff.
First bumps. First bumps on low.
86,000 pounds for dry.
Main tanks and crossfeed off.
Ah, you're right. Yeah, this is max takeoff weight. 87,600 is dry, so we should use a wet.
Down, forward.
Thanks for that one.
Checked. Okay. Flaps 20.
Yeah, we are 103. So we're almost at max takeoff weight already.
Flaps set 20.
So we're gonna use a wet.
Closed and on.
Now I only have to check what my rotation speed is gonna be, but that's all the way up there.
Block released. Free. Potato. On. Mixture and
I'm not gonna do a run up because I have no clue how that works.
Mixture locked. Set. Transponder. On. Landing lights.
Yeah. I think it will break my neck.
Extended and on. Before takeoff checks complete.
Where's the stop bar sign? Did I just pass it? Alright, let's set park and brake and try to break my neck. We're at 103,000 pounds. this is unreadable. Let's cheat. Nine, 8. Which one is it? Here we go. 102. How does this work? This is landing, takeoff, 20 degrees flaps, V1, V2, VS is stall speed. Where's V rotate then? $105, 113, right? Probably 113 and for V2. Right, at least it's somewhere between 105 and 113. Now I have to go back to my original camera position. Go. What else? Flaps are set. This is set. Let's have a review of the departure again. Topic 1 Golf departure, minimum 500 feet. Intercept radial 163, which is a left turn. We have radial 163 set here. VR needle 1 is single one. Okay. At 8 DME, we turn left 119, intercept radio 150. Okay, that sounds quite easy. And I guess in case of engine failure, press the feather button and we can climb runway heading 3000 feet. Come back to one of the many runways here at Schiphol. Oh, there's a auto feather. Well, when it comes to this, I really have no knowledge about prop airplanes. Oh my god, we have a problem. Should have been a 10:30 departure. Center line is somewhere. We're late, we're running late. Okay, so we do a wet takeoff. We hold the brakes.
On. 30 inches stabilize. 30 inches stabilize.
Now I hope everything works. Inches, T's and P's seem to be good.
30 inches stabilized. Cal flaps. Cal flaps. Cal flaps set. Full power, please. Going full power.
Alright, here we go. Speed is live. Engines are good.
Full power set.
80 knots. E1. Rotate. There she goes. She flies by herself. It's actually not a hot day, it's like 20 degrees outside. Hold the rate gear up. Aim for 160 knots, 165. At 500 feet, turn left 093. No, turn left, intercept radial 163. Okay. Knots. 500. Turn left.
Meter power set. Climb power. Setting climb power.
Let's fly this heading for a bit. 140. Intercept the radial. Let's trim it. Oh yeah, this engines 3 and 4 are hot, yeah. Well, nothing I know I can do about it. Oh, airspeed.
After takeoff checks complete.
Pretty much on the radial now. And then it was 80 me, turn left 119. 70 me right now. me, 119 degrees. Good degrees of bank. Focus. Intercept radio 150. Have a look at temps now. They're on the green now. Don't understand why engines 3 and 4 are hotter than 1 and 2. Maybe because I started them earlier. We are on the radial right now. Flying through it actually. Fly heading 160 to intercept the radial again. Bit fast. Right, let's try the autopilot. First this one, I guess. No? Fly the plane. All good. This one. And then it could set it to intercept this one. There it goes. Cold temperatures. Looking good. To low pick. Where's low pick? Low pick is at 28 DME. Now it's 16. It's Düsseldorf you are. I should set up the pressurization as well. How high should we go? 17,000 or something? Three and four still a bit hot. 40 inches. 2400 RPM, which is standard climb settings. Probably set standard right now. Yeah, 16,000 is where you have to engage the supercharger to high. All low, then it goes high. We could do 19. Well, let's do 17,000. Sounds alright. It's short flight. Quite heavy. Looking good. Yeah, the door was open. It's closed now. I saw that as well. Gonna take forever to get there. 700 feet per minute climb, 800 feet per minute. I guess this is how it was back in the day. Alright, so we're approaching the end of this sit. Route. Düsseldorf, 105.15 is set in standby. Switch to heading select mode. Düsseldorf you are.
KLM 851 Kilo Lima 851 contact Amsterdam Center on 119er decimal 175. Good day.
That for me? Oh yeah.
Going to 119er decimal 175 KLM 851 Kilo Lima 851.
Let's not do that. We have to fly heading 120. Direct to the Düsseldorf you are. Piece of peace, all good. "10,000 feet. Lights are off. Pressurization sending. Weird. Getting slow, yeah, true. Yeah, it should be climbing, right? We're gonna be sitting with the oxygen masks on in a few seconds. It's descending. Doesn't make sense at all to me. This one seems to be alright. High blowers. You mean for the superchargers? Ah. No, we're not there yet. You can see after a while the throttles cannot go any further forward. Right now the flight engineer is pushing the throttles further and further forward to keep this 40 inches of manifold pressure. And at some point he cannot push it any further, so the manifold pressure will go down, and then you have to engage the superchargers. We're now at 12,000 feet. So basically you don't really need to check for 16,000 feet, but just when you cannot keep the manifold pressure anymore, then you switch to a high flow. Or high supercharger. high gear it is. Yeah, true. But we are losing a bit of airspeed. 400 feet per minute. No, no worries. Still 50 nautical miles till Düsseldorf. Whoa. What's happening? Fuel flow just went nuts. Hey, cabin is climbing again. Weird. Oh fuck. I do have something to set the mixture. Uh-oh. Oh my god.
Set cruise power, please.
It's all gone to shit now. Just set cruise power so I at least have something. I had the same with the RPM. My god, what's happening? Let's turn this thing off. Alright. I had to do the same with the RPM because that was also driving everything nuts. So 40 inches, 2400 RPM. Might have to do this manually. We're back on climb power. Climbing again, getting the speed back. That's a good tip though. Thanks. Yeah, it must have been a mixture. But I know if I escape and change the settings, then all the engines go nuts as well, so I think we're just gonna have to deal with it. I had the same with the prop lever. And then it wouldn't go full power on the takeoff, because the prop lever apparently was saying different things. I was like, I just set takeoff thrust right. Why is it not accelerating? But then I found out. So it's the same with the mixture then. Okay, firm. All seems normal. Never trust your co-pilot. Oh, still tracking inbound to Düsseldorf you are. Can't believe how slow this thing is. But I think once we reach our cruise level, then we increase the speed a bit. Nicely above the clouds. I've reached the maximum of the throttle levers. So we should switch to the supercharger any second, or switch the supercharger to high gear. Alright, so let's do that. 200 knots, alright. Yeah. How you do FS economy? I used to do that a bit, but I now do what's that other thing called again? On air I do, yeah. Sometimes. Alright, let's switch to high flow. First decrease these. How about here? 28-ish. Let's do engine 1 and engine 4 first. 50, 40. Manifold pressure. P's and P's are good. Engine 2 and 3. 40 inches. Cool. Yeah, you have to pay though for on air, but I liked it a bit more than FS economy. And at least you have a, but it doesn't matter which program you use, it's, in the end it's all about the flight itself. But with these programs you actually end up at airports where you usually don't fly to. In the 808 Connie, the engineer would say high blowers engaged. Oh yeah. I hope we get the A2A constellation as well at some point. Almost 16,000 feet. But what I find strange with these aircraft is that for the descent and for approach, you don't really use the throttles at all. You just set it to something, and then you control the glide path with the drag, with the flaps. 1,000 feet level off. Minus 10 degrees outside. This thing is climbing again. I've seen the video. Well, maybe we can make it to Munich and see if we can do it. The most difficult thing in this aircraft is to actually slow down. Because you don't have speed brakes. And even when you fly level, it decelerates so slowly. So you really have to plan some distance in to fly level before catching a glide slope. Oh yeah. Let's first try to level off. Yeah, I did some touch and goes yesterday and I quite got the hang of it now. The engines don't like touch and goes though. Whoa, why are you climbing? Trimming up, why? Oh, now it's trimming down. What are you doing? Well, good enough for me. Cruise.
Set cruise power, please. Setting cruise power.
Let's see if we can fix this altitude a bit later. And we're at Düsseldorf EUR. Holy shit.
Cruise power is set.
115.35. Seems to work.
Cruise checks are complete.
This is Charlie VOR. This one. There we go, that way, straight ahead. Bit to the right. No, the autopilot sets the autopilot hold mode. Because now it leveled off in the end. It's flying south. Crazy intercept angle too. Alright. Altitude control. Get that altitude correct. So, fuel flow is now 600 per engine. Excessive overboost. Sometimes. Oh right, yeah. I think the wind is just shifting a bit the whole time. That's why it's struggling. Bang. And it climbs again. It says in the manual that yellow is just a warning, doesn't yet cause additional wear and tear to the... Okay. Hit B. Altimeter. Is that it? Oh, it's a bug. Okay. Oh, so... Yeah, alright. I see what it does then. Ah, okay. Makes sense, yeah. Thanks for that one. Here, now it's just all fucked up. All green. And now we wait. So it's Charlie VOR, which is near Frankfurt, yeah. Then we go to Nuremberg. And then we go to Munich. Doors open again. If you zoom out too far, then the door is open. No, I just picked some VORs. Could have probably just gone from Charlie to what is it, to Munich, but I want to fly to this Mike India Quebec NDB, so I probably need to be a bit closer to that to pick that up. That's why I went via Nuremberg. Would be nice to have the original flight plans, but probably really hard to find that. So after Charlie, Nuremberg, which is 115.75. Too far away. So the mixtures are now in Auto lean, yeah. Oh yeah, you wanted to know about this no smoking sign. Where is it? Seatbelt is off. No clue if it even has a smoking sign. Oh, here. No smoking sign is off. It's allowed on this flight. I wonder how many of today's VORs were already in operations in the 50s. Yeah, good question. I guess so, because aviation was still so new back in the day, so probably only look at this thing. Try to disengage the autopilot. I think the trim is all off. Whoa. See, the autopilot used to work better before the update, I have the feeling. Man, what's going on? Car pilot and this thing and then this. Oh man, this is so difficult. Oh. 1, 2. Altitude is good. 3. Localizer mode. We really have to do that in a specific order then. Oh, really? It's the pressure changes the whole time. Press B again. Now it's 2994. You know, at this altitude it should be on standard, but since we're using the American system, maybe if we go above 18,000, where it should be standard in the States. Yeah, yeah. Alright. So this is still a bug a bit. Because I just pressed B and now it's all steady. Sort of. Still trimming. We'll get there. No, but I think they added a lot of VORs after the 50s then. And now they're getting rid of them. Because we're all starting to use GPS approaches now. Still tracking inbound to Charlie VOR. 60 miles to go. And then we should calculate the top of descent. Piece of paper here. So if we descend at 1000 feet per minute, and I want to be at that Mike India Quebec point. Yeah. At 5000 feet, so we have to get rid of 12,000 feet. 12,000 feet at 1000 feet per minute, so 5 miles per 1000 feet is we need about 60 nautical miles to descend. So 60 nautical miles before Mike India Quebec is right at Nuremberg. Just hit VNAV, yeah. Just the fact that VNAV gives you a top of descent is already easier. So at Nuremberg VOR, we're gonna descend at 1000 feet per minute, and we should make the NDB for the arrival procedure at 5000 feet, and then we still have like 20 nautical miles to decelerate the aircraft. Well, not much else to do. I hope we make it on time. Could be there at 12:30, so we still have an hour. It's saying ETE in 46 minutes, so looks like we're on time. But then with the procedure, could take like 20 minutes more. Yeah, go ahead. Frequency C approaches that do some snake motion or zigzagging. What do you know? I mean, at a lot of German airports they have that. Like same as at Munich, I think. Where was I a few weeks ago? Berlin also has the same, I guess. It's just for sequencing. Like in case it gets really busy, then they can just let you fly that whole zigzag thing. So they can then sequence you for the approaches. And but usually you don't do the whole zigzag. You just, but then they can tell you like fly to this point and then shortcut to the right to fly the ILS. No, I think it's just for sequencing, for when it's busy, and then they can already tell you like you fly to that point and then you're gonna turn right, which also helps us with the descent planning and stuff. Yeah, cool, you're welcome. And for us as pilots, we want to, basically from top of descent, we want to fly idle until like 1,000 feet above the runway. So we don't use much fuel for fuel saving. So if you have this whole zigzag thing, then the route is much longer than what it's actually gonna be. So if you have all these extra miles in your calculation for the top of descent, then you're probably gonna end up really, really high if you get the shortcut at the end. So you have to anticipate a bit, like it's probably gonna be shorter than what your whole rifle's gonna say. It's basically to get rid of the holding procedures. Here we go, we're oscillating again. Press B. Getting a bit cloudy. Terrain? No. Not much terrain here. It's not like we're flying over the Alps. The grid more is like 5,000 feet. Karlsruhe. Was dit Schwarzwald here? Baden-Baden. Or Frankfurt already, yeah. Alright. 23 miles. This is gonna be a problem. It's not receiving anything on the second VOR. 115.35. Oh. Well, 5.75, sorry. Maybe that's not in the sim. I have theory that Asobo's famous atmospheric simulation just looks at terrain. You could actually have that if it's like from the Alps. When we fly over the Alps at 35,000 feet, you could notice turbulence. Because it's not just updraft, but it's also that the wind changes often. And temperature changes. So you could actually have a lot of turbulence. They call it mountain waves. You can see it sometimes in the air when you have these, well, like weirdly shaped clouds. Yeah, mountain waves, yeah. Alright. Yeah, there's some bugs in with the autopilot now. It seems to be stable now, but whenever the pressure changes it goes nuts. And also the cabin pressure was descending in the climb. Alright, we gotta figure out this VOR's problem we have. Maybe we have to find another word. Würzburg, maybe? It's just a VOR. Hitzingen. It's just a VOR. I want to have VOR and DME actually. Attack. No, this is military. Read. How much here? Erlangen. Erlangen. Maybe that's something. BRDME. 114.9. That works. Which is really close to that VR. Oh, vertical. Ah, that's good info. Four nautical miles. So let's switch the autopilot to heading mode. And we'll go to 114.9. Find a nice course. Something like this. Localizer mode. Maybe we can find a Nuremberg VOR a bit later. 5.75. Oh yeah, it's still 80 miles, so. I bet they had to do all this planning themselves as well, like back in the day, like see how the range of the VOR, or just fly on a radio from the previous VOR so that you could pick up the next VOR with a ruler and then calculate the wind, the crosswind, if you actually knew the wind. Must have been so hard to fly over the ocean They used to navigate on the stars. But I can imagine if you fly to like from Gander to New York, you're just flying towards a heading. And then see where you end up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're supposed to fly towards New York, but we ended up in Miami today. Oh. Calm down. Could prepare Mike in your Quebec NDB already. 426. Right. How does this work? Pretty. There's also a timer. So these have 4,500 pounds of fuel. Center tanks have a bit more. And then you have an extra tank. Once we get to the longer flights, I have to find out how the crossfeed works. Because that seemed super complicated. Hey, looks like we're picking up the Nuremberg VOR on a 575. Fly towards that. Yeah, true. The video, I looked at it, and then I thought, well, I probably have to have a look at this again. Why did it set a transponder code? Like, this is a nice flight, I think, like 2 hours long. You get to do the whole takeoff, switch to the superchargers, Fly from a couple of VORs, and by the time you get bored, you start your descent. So in 50 nautical miles, we start descending. Alright, Munich. ILS. 26 right. 108.7. Can already set some stuff up. 338. Standby. Could use this maybe. A lot of scrolling. And some smokes here. Food and drinks, some hot stewardesses. I guess so, yeah. Yeah, like this aircraft can take like 68 passengers, and then they had like 6 cabin crew as well. This is crazy. 3 pilots or even more. Press B to fix the autopilot. I wish I had that in my aircraft, in the Boeing. Let's have a look. Mountains to the south of Munich. It shouldn't be a problem. 2 degrees glide slope. Minimums 16,500, 16,050, I guess. Go around 261 degrees at 1 DME. Or minimum 1900, whichever is later. Turn right, intercept Mike India Quebec. Alright, back to the NDB. Climb to 5,000 feet. Runway 4,000 meters long. And the threshold is at almost 1,500 feet, so have to keep that in mind. It's not sea level. I don't even know whether they also had a navigator. I guess so, yeah, but there's not much space here. So maybe they didn't. But looking at the flight plans, or it seemed that the Constellation did the longer flights, and this, well, this is basically the longest flight it had. So maybe the Connie just had a navigator for the longer flights. They flew all the way to Sydney. Apparently all the circuit breakers here work. Yeah, true. Maybe it has that... I cannot really look backwards, but... no. I think it has, it's this, oh you, yeah, I think it's over here, this thing, you can see that. But I'm not sure. 26 nautical miles before the top of descent. Alright, we have to make a plan. Because we're probably not gonna find an NDB until much later. So from Nürburgring to Mike-India, Quebec, track 158. So you fly radio 158 outbound. Yeah. Still no smoke, no engines on fire. I'm surprised we made it this far. This is what you're seeing all flight. Oh, they actually made an interior. Yeah, me too. No, I haven't tried the 777 yet. How do I go back now? Okay. Did PMDG release a 777 already? Or somebody else? But 777, it's all fly-by-wire, man. I like the old school airplanes. A320. Embraer, yeah, it's Brazilian aircraft. Well, from people that fly the 737 MAX in real life, they really like it. I don't know how it is on the sim, but in real life, apparently it's a really nice aircraft to fly. Cool, so we're over Nuremberg. See if we can find the city. Oh, there it is. The airport is over there. Bit pixelated still, but I've actually been to the city once. Oh, 208. Nice. Yeah, props are nice. As long as you can fly, man, it's all good. Let's go to heading select mode. Or what's it called here? Autopilot mode. And then we fly, what did it say again? 158 outbound. Turn right. Now flying overhead the VR. Cool, where's that? Where did you fly from? Does this make sense? No? Yeah, now it does. I should be able to go localizer mode again. Oh wow, nice. Must be nice to fly there. Cool. It's such a different experience to fly in the States. Going for aggressive intercept. Oh yeah, we should descend. Not descending. Altitude hold. There we go. We'll just stay at cruise power for now. Started to descend a bit late, so go a bit more than 1000 feet per minute. I do a lot of bush flying in Microsoft. Oh, cool. Yeah, the bush flying is the best. You know, the VFR flying in this sim is amazing. I was so surprised. I really didn't expect it to be this good. Yeah, if you fly with a passenger in the 208, you probably get to know him quite a lot, quite well. I can imagine. Nowadays with COVID, I don't even see my passengers. Mike, India, Quebec, 426. Yep. Right. What company are you looking for? What aircraft? Yeah, I would go for American Airlines as well. You need 1500, right, in the States? Oh yeah. So get these last 200 hours in. And I read there's a shortage of pilots in the States, so could be a good time to be right at those 1500 hours right now. Nice. So just flying outbound from the Nuremberg VOR, and at 60 nautical miles we should intercept this, we should fly overhead this Mike India Quebec NDB, which is now tracking. I have to do this manually, alright. I never really understood how these things work, but not LNAV. But maybe you can apply already or not. Speed is okay. Yeah, isn't it the best to get on the list already? It's so different in the States than in Europe, because you have to build up to get those hours before you can apply for jet. And here we basically have a frozen ATPL, so we can already fly jets to get the hours. I kind of like where I am right now. We're getting a Dash Q or a Honda jet. Alright. Okay, so the Mike in Quebec is Mike, cool. I've only landed at Munich once, which was a precautionary landing because I had a guy with a heart attack on board. So we were flying from Amsterdam to Turkey or Greece, I think. And right once we were in the cruise, somebody of the cabin crew started saying, yeah, we have a passenger with who's not feeling too well, all white in the face, he fainted, puking, everything, so we need to land ASAP. And Munich was the closest airport, so we could land at Munich, did a precautionary landing, and we landed, passenger got out, ambulance was standing ready for picking up the sick passenger. No, I cannot. But if you Google if KLM has a 767, then you'll find out. So the guy got out of the aircraft, we fueled up a bit again as we took off, and then flew on. And then for weeks we didn't hear anything about it. And then later on we got an email from the wife of the man who had a heart attack. And she said if you didn't land that quickly then he probably would have died, but now he survived. So that was a really nice compliment. I had some guy shit himself. Oh man, that was that must have smelled. Emergency situation, yeah. We shouldn't fly. We're flying a bit too fast, but fine by me. We departed a bit late, right? Still have half an hour to get there. It's a bit tight. Alright, let's switch to heading select mode and fly towards this. Let's 140-ish. Probably want to get the descent checks out of the way now. Slow down.
Set in 26 inches.
And it should switch off these high flow, whatever it's called, supercharger.
Check rest, please. Altimeters and flight instruments. Cross-checked.
Press B.
Seatbelt signs on. On. Engine blow is low. Low. Descent checks are complete.
So descending to 5,000 feet at Mike. I want to be at 5,000 feet there because we need to slow down all the way to 174 knots. Get the flaps out. Mike is at 60 nautical miles, okay, and then we fly outbound QDR 106. Fly straight. So we're still a little bit on the high side. Airport should be somewhere over there. Switch to the ILS already. Let's wait. We might need this. 60 miles now. ILS is set. Right, we're flying over at Mike. And what did I say again? 106, so turn left. $500 feet to level off. Slow the descent rate down. Zero 90 outbound now. Until this is at 10. Oh no. This doesn't turn with the old school, huh? There we go. Oh, level off, level off, level off. Do the in-range checks.
Cooling turbine. Normal. Fuel booster pumps. On low. Fuel tank selectors. Mains
Supercharger
on,
is
cross off.
low again.
Hydraulic bypass valve. Down.
And now,
No smoking signs.
1.2.3.
In range.
Busy
checks
here.
Complete.
Once we pass radial 036, 20 DME. .036, so now at radial 000. Once it's at 036 for VOR2, we can turn right and intercept the ILS. Turn a bit right again. Also, we need to slow down. Set the manifold pressure to... set the B map to 70. Airfield is over there, looking good. Do we have a meter? I have it up here on my second screen. QNH 1716, scattered 4300, wind is 280 at 8, 23 degrees. And I just press B. Oh, that's looks like the ILS is now tuned or receiving. VL2, VR2, radial 036. We're now flying heading 120. And we should be flying a QDR of 106, which we are doing, so we should now fly heading 106. Ah, thanks. Looks like a nice headwind. So speed is coming down, so get some flaps out. Probably go to 100 B map. By this heading. Almost there. Once this is at 036 over here, this tail of the needle, then we can turn right. Next stage of flaps, 15. We want to be at flaps 20. Glide slope is alive, localizer alive. Final approach course is 261. Quite busy here, man. There we go. And now we can go flaps 20. We're at 10, 15, with 15 now, 20. We're now inside the wide arc, so we can go to flaps 30 and stuff, which we'll do a bit later. Now, next thing I have to do is the before landing checklist, which means gear down and flaps 20. And we're now at radial 036, so we can turn right. Not too fast, I think. See how long we've been flying level to get the speed out and the flaps. and we're looking for heading 260. Heading 201 to intercept, it says here. (190) There we go, fly straight. That's too far. Looks like we're intercepting the glide slope first. Anyway, let's do that. Approach mode. Do landing checks.
Flaps 20. Setting flaps 20.
Ah, there it is. Looking good.
20 flaps set. Mistress Ridge, please. Alter Ridge.
Localizer coming alive.
Mistress
You're in
set.
approach mode, right? Yeah.
Gear up and down, please. Gear up and down.
Capturing glide slope and localizer at the same time. Are we gonna turn? No? Fuck. To do this manually then. We were doing so well.
Gear down and locked. 3 greens. Roughs. 2400 RPM. 2400 RPM set.
It's not so nice to overshoot the runway when you have 2 landing runways.
ADI off. ADI is off. Landing lights. Speed good. Extending lights.
So we keep the B map at 100.
Calming cold. Set cold.
We're now at flaps 30.
Before landing checks complete.
Slowly capturing the localizer again. And we're now on the glide slope, so we want to continue our descent. Flaps 40. Speed is good. So basically I can just let go of all the controls now, it's trimmed. Speed is good, we're still a bit high on glide slope, so we go maximum flaps. And we just leave the throttle where it is. So we have gears down, flaps are set. They were clear to land. Go around was climb to 5,000 feet, turn right at minimum 1900 feet to the mic NDB. See, now with the extra flaps we catch the glide slope. We're now back on glide slope, so we can go flaps to 40. And without changing anything, it should stay at glide slope. Still at 100 BMAP, I didn't touch throttles at all. Gonna butter it for sure. What's the wind again? 250 at 6. So it's a straight headwind. Cool, yeah, I hope it helped. It's just, for me it's totally strange as well. So we're getting a bit low and slow, so we're gonna go up on the flaps. Flaps, what is it? 30. Pretty much on the localizer, on glide slope, speed is good. I forgot to check my approach speed, but I guess it's around 100, 110. And now with the lower flaps, the speed is increasing while staying on the glide. So speed is where I want it again, so we go back to flaps 40. Get the localizer. I think we have a bit wind from the right. So flying QDMs and QDRs is quite difficult with this, what's this instrument called again? ADF compass? It's not called like that. It doesn't track your heading. So we're getting a bit low and slow again, so I'm gonna go flaps 30 again. And still, I didn't touch thrust at all. The throttles. Seems like we're coming in a bit fast now again, so back to flaps 40. Depends a bit on your weight, of course, and the wind. Nice and stable. And then I guess, see wind from the right. Or over here we go idle. Crosswind. Easy landing. Center line. Try the reverser. There we go. Thanks, man. And now at Munich they have a really nice system in real life, where they just say, because when I did that emergency landing, I've never been on this airport before. And then they gave me a super long taxi clearance after landing. So I'm like, okay, I've never been here, I didn't have time to read up on where all the taxiways are and stuff. And then I said, yeah, just follow the greens. So they have the green lights popping up in front of you where you have to go. I'm just gonna pretend we are clear to cross this runway. Do after landing checklist. Clear left, clear right. Where should we go?
After landing checks complete.
Ground charts. Let's go right. Well, let's not make it too long. It's really nice to experiment with this type of aircraft. Totally new for me with the radial engines, where you just keep the throttles where they are. This highway is a bit strange. Yeah, I guess so. I hope so. Park it on the left there, next to the green aircraft. It's the Bing Maps, yeah. Or Google and Microsoft do not agree again. Maybe it's on Bing Maps and not on Google. Parking brake set. Parking checklist.
Parking brake is set. Cut entrance.
Now the question is, what time did we land? Should have landed at 12:30 and we landed ahead of schedule. Ramp manager. Still doing checks and stuff. Now this is so weird as well. So we did one landing but no takeoffs.
Checks complete, A-plan secured.
Open the doors. Let's set wheel chocks. Ground power. Looking good. All right, so it must have been a... okay, so that's what we saw then. Well, have a look at the schedule again. Here we go. So we did this flight. (8:51). Took off at Amsterdam at 10:30, landed at 12:30 at Munich, and now they have like a 1 hour turnaround to fuel up and maybe clean the aircraft and fill up oil, maybe? I don't know. Probably not oil. And then we leave to Rome, which is maybe for tomorrow. I'm really enjoying this aircraft. Looks nice. It's nice to learn how they used to fly back in the day. And I hope we can continue our journey towards Karachi. Anyway, thanks for joining me on the flight, Wurstfinger and Big Lou and Vincent. And maybe see you tomorrow again, where we continue our journey. Thanks you too, Big Lou. Good luck with getting your job at American Airlines. I hope you get it, man. You deserve it.